Let's move on to the fantasy section of this show. We're going to go over to Dave for fantasy forward for players we want to pick up this weekend. Who are we looking at, Dave?
For that one, I want to stick with the game that I was just talking about. Torrey Horton, the rookie, the 5th-round rookie. He probably would have been drafted higher if it wasn't for the injury risk. And again, Sam Darnold has been doing pretty good in the passing game. You're not going to run, so why not give a shot? Now, he's going to be available in a lot of leagues because he only got 4 targets in week 2, 4 targets in week 3, and he only got 2 targets last week, but they were ahead early on. But in this being a game that could potentially be a shootout against, an interesting offense. But I think the key for Seattle is to pass, utilize him more. Cooper Kupp, your favorite quarterback of the Baltimore Ravens that you alluded to earlier.
Cooper Rush, you called him Cooper Kupp too.
Nah, but he's done, but he's great as a run blocker. I don't know that he's going to be a passing threat. So you have JSN and Horton should have interesting games. And I think, he got a touchdown week 2, week 3. This is another opportunity in the red zone. You're not going to get rushing touchdowns. So why not try for the big target? I think he's a good shot in the dark.
Okay. I like it. So I actually have a weird one for you. Speaking of New Orleans being the favorites for the first time all year, I know Neighbors is hurt, but I think Jackson Dart's going to go into New Orleans and he's going to wreck shop in there, at least running the football, right? So, if you're in a single league or a single quarterback league and you have a bad matchup this week and Jackson Dart's out there, and you're not in a dynasty league, Jackson Dart against the New Orleans defense is really intriguing to me because dude ran the ball 11 times. He ran the ball 11 times last game. Fantasy-wise, that is fantastic if you have a quarterback, right? He threw 1 touchdown. He still got 26 fantasy points because of all the rushing and the rushing touchdown. So I think against this Saints defense, and there's word out there that Jackson Dart thought he was going to get drafted by the Saints, right? Because he's from that area. And so he thought he was going to get drafted by the Saints. He didn't. And so he's kind of mad at them. And it's he wants to go stick it to him and be like, you picked the wrong guy, which I think everybody knows Tyler Shuck's the wrong guy. But still, Jackson Dart thought he was going there and he didn't. So he's going to try to stick it to him. So I have a feeling that in this game, Jackson Dart's going to run the ball a lot. He's going to probably make some mistakes, probably throw a pick or two, maybe make some bad plays, but he's going to try. And I think he's going to get you some decent fantasy points. So I'm going Jackson Dart against the New Orleans Saints.
And I like that just because the Saints, they tend with Kellen Moore, they like to have a fast pace. So he could have a lot of possessions. He could have a lot of drives to score a lot of points. So I like that.
Yeah. And a lot of passes to Wan'Dale Robinson, Doug's favorite wide receiver. All 5'4" of them.
Shorty.
Yeah.
Who do you like this week, Doug?
So the old homeboy, Stephon Diggs, when he's not hanging out on boats, with boats and hose and things, he is often catching touchdowns. And the beginning of the season, he started a little bit slow, but he's coming off injury. But this is the thing. They're starting to work him back in the offense. He's only been playing 50-60% of the snaps. And last week he had a PFF rating of 85, which is kind of in his range where he used to be. And the reporters say he looked good. He looked like vintage Stephon Diggs from back in the day. And I'm thinking he's playing the Bills this week, his old team. And I think there's going to be some revenge factor in. He's going to get in the ear of the team and be like, hey, throw me the ball a bunch so I can ball out here, because he likes the spotlight and everything. So I think this will not only be a big game for him, but I think that the rest of the season, he might be a decent wide receiver 2 in fantasy and put up some slightly decent points, even though he's in New England and stuff. But even though he's coming off this injury, it's a good sign if you're a Stephon Diggs fan that he's looking pretty good and he's looking like he's kind of his normal self a bit. And plus he's fueled by, boat parties, pink powder, all those things. Maybe many babies' mamas. Also, whoever his girlfriend is, I forget that she found
Cardi
out. She found out he got another girl pregnant or something. So there's all kinds of fun drama that's fueling him for at least 2 touchdowns this week.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like every single weekend in the locker room, Stephon Diggs tells him to throw him the ball.
Yeah, probably.
Right.
I feel like that's never not happened. So
that's why I'm sure it's happening. I can guarantee it.
Maybe this time they'll listen, but I mean,
Well, he's
Dude,
coming
I
off
s-
injury. They were working him into the offense. He didn't
Right.
play like the full like wide receiver
Yeah.
one rotations, and because it's like the time period for it to come back from that injury, most people don't even like recover fully from like these
Yeah.
kind of things. But
Yeah, it's been almost a full year, so now is when he's just about to be back in. Yeah,
and he's
to go
31 and a
go
half years
against
old, which
Josh.
is right at the kind of tail end of when wide receivers are usually good. So we don't know if he can defy like time or whatever. He's probably on the decline, but like this might be his like last season where he can actually like put up some good fantasy points.
I mean, in the Ravens' defensive matchup is about as good as you can ask for. Marlon Humphrey's out, right? So
No, they're playing.
Oh no, he's playing the Bills. He's going against Josh.
oh, that's right. I'm sorry. I'm thinking he's still
yeah,
on the
Sunday Night
Texans.
Football.
He's on the
You are
Patriots
so
now.
obsessed with Baltimore, Jesus.
Dude,
Them and
I'm sorry.
No.
I can't help it. And I want to talk about their OC later. So yeah,
and
I'm all
it's
about
probably going to
Baltimore.
be a high scoring game. Maybe I don't
Yeah.
know because I mean that's kind of what happens.
I mean,
it's been
the
a couple
New
years
England,
since the Patriots got prime time, which is kind of
Dude,
nice to be able to say.
the Patriots offense looked pretty good. Now it was against the Panthers, but then the Panthers are so up and down. They look great against the Falcons. Maybe that was Penix. I don't know. But I mean, the Patriots boat raced them last week and they looked pretty good. So we'll see though. The Bills are a bit of a different animal. Their defense isn't great, but if it is a revenge game for Stephon Diggs, I could maybe see something happening. But yeah, I forget. I got to remember he's on the Patriots, man. And they gave him like that decent contract too. So they better start giving him the ball.
That's why I'm saying everybody probably thought that his fantasy season, his fantasy life was over because he didn't do a whole lot the first couple games. But they literally, the reporters from New England, all the beat reporters are like, hey, he hasn't really been featured that much because he's still being worked back in. And I'm like, okay, that makes sense. So he could come back and be a pretty decent, like, wide receiver 2 or something for your fantasy team or 3.
Well, they had a reasonable expectation that their over under, I think, was 8.5 wins. So I knew that they weren't going to, risk him the first month or two. They're just like, all right, we want to develop our quarterback second half of the year. And so now is when he's going to start to ramp up a little bit. So the Pats offense should be a lot more interesting going forward. Last week was a good start to that.
Yeah, it looked like it. Definitely looked like it. All right. Well, that was our fantasy pickups for this week.